What's up everybody, it's Frankie D. The day has finally come. I'm on my roof here in Southern California just before summer, right in time to replace these two super old units and the coils in the attic. Follow along here as I take you through the steps of what I did to get the parts I needed and to get the labor at a decent price. If you're hunting for new ACs, especially central, you know the prices are expensive. I got quoted to replace these two and two coils. Today we're gonna go over what I did to buy the parts separately from the labor and get the best deal possible for the value and the work. I got several quotes. One guy wanted $8,000 for parts and equipment each, so $16,000. Instead of doing that, I went online and found the parts myself after doing some research and finding out that I could probably get away with getting the parts from a wholesaler like HVAC Direct, which is where I went to, and then getting the labor from somewhere separate. I got 2 3-ton, 2-stage Goodman condensers and coils, and I think it'll be a huge difference once it's all said and done. After purchasing the units, which cost about $5,300, I then went on the labor hunt and I called all sorts of people. Most installers don't want to install equipment without first selling you it. So that's a huge deal. You're not gonna find many people that are just gonna wanna do the labor. However, I did find someone after a recommendation. The guy coming here today is charging $18.75 to install per unit. And that's the coil, that's new line sets. I'm going from R22 to R134A. So I thought that was a pretty good deal, pretty reasonable. Some people wanted $5,000 each to install. Another guy wanted $2,000 each. But this guy was the most detailed. He gave a nice estimate with all exactly what he's gonna do. Any questions I had, he answered, and he was prompt to respond. So that's the kind of worker I like. I like a good hustler and I like a good communicator. That's what I want in someone who's gonna work on my house. He's gonna come today to install it. I'm no AC professional, so I had to learn a little bit about this stuff, but now I think I get the gist. Check this out. I like how it's all American prime shit. Way bigger units than the other one.
All right, so my ACs are on the roof, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing that they're out of the way around the backyard. I don't have that much room anyway in the backyard, but it's also more expensive to put them up there. So we needed a crane for an additional $250 charge. After the new ACs were placed on the roof, they went ahead to work wiring all the electrical, all the line sets, which carry refrigerant to these units back and forth from the coils. Here's a comparison between the new coil on top and the old one on the bottom. The old coils weren't in the worst condition, as you could see, but I might as well replace all of it if I'm replacing the condensers, and it'll be far more efficient. Here are the new condensers looking really pretty on the roof. Obviously they're more aesthetically pleasing, but they're just a larger unit. They're so much more quiet. The old units were super, super loud. I wish I had some footage, but I didn't get it. The installer did a really good job waterproofing everything and towering it up where the lines go into the house. Super happy with it.
All right, so let's talk about the grand total of what this project cost. First of all, the parts. It was $5,629 to purchase all the parts separately now, but I got a refund of $310 from HVAC Direct because they upgraded my coils due to the ones I ordered not being available, and therefore I didn't need some 17-inch to 21-inch cabinet transitions at the furnace. So that saved me $310, and I got a pair of upgraded coils. I did not need a line set that I purchased, one of them, so I returned that, but shipping cost $107 to go back to the warehouse. So I got $223 refunded, minus $107, I got $116 back from that. A part was bad, something called a TXV valve inside the coil straight from the factory. The installer had to go back and repair that. They added that to the labor cost. Now let's move on to the labor costs. Speaking of which, $3,750 was the original quote. That's $18.75 each. $3,750 was what was estimated. I expected that. However, it adds up. And I think that this would happen with all installers. $250 crane service if your AC is on the roof. In addition to that, there's that bad TXV valve, which he charged me $375 to replace. He came back on another day to do it. I couldn't do much about that. I returned it back to HVAC Direct. HVAC Direct said that they would not pay for the labor, only the part. and I think that's only like maybe a $50-$100 part. So he charged me $375 for everything. I might get $50 to $100 back on that, whatever. I needed it done. Then they had to install a new plenum, which is, I guess, the box that the coil goes in after the air handler or before it. I'm not sure, but it's just a big box that they have to like custom make out of like metal, and fine. They charged me $360 for that. Cool with it. The grand total for all labor was $4,735 for a grand total of the whole project, $10,364 minus all the things that I talked about, all the parts that I returned. Then don't forget about your rebates and tax credits. I applied for rebates for my utility provider, LADWP. They said I would receive $750 within 6 months. It's a long way, but that's all right. Then there's a $300 to $500 federal tax credit for replacing your AC. Bottom line, $8,838 total for the whole project. That's 2 ACs, all parts and labor. I'm pretty satisfied with that, considering that the first AC guy wanted $8,000 each. There's a few quotes that I got for $8,000 each. Other people wanted $4,000 each to install it, $3,000 each to install it. And that they would have taxed on these extra things, and they may have been more expensive. Who knows? I think that my guy was very honest. I really liked his workers that he hires. They were quick, efficient, polite, clean. I don't say that about many people that work on the house. I'm stoked about this guy. I will use them again for sure. And now I got 2 brand new AC units. I'm pretty stoked about that. I can't wait to chill in the Arctic during summer. I gotta mention that these are 2-stage units. I could have bought cheaper units than this, but considering how expensive it is to cool this house with high electricity bills, my electricity bills during the summer months are over $600 with the old units. It's insane. And this is a big house. This is a 2,600 square foot house in Los Angeles, so it is expensive to maintain. This is going to help significantly with our bills, and it's going to keep the house cooler. I got the 2-stage because it allows the condenser to work not as hard by not turning on and off all the time. It takes a huge spike in electricity, and it's harder on the condenser to turn on full blast every so often instead of just being on at a low setting, maintaining the temperature throughout the house during the hot days. 2-stage condensers are something to look into when replacing your air conditioners. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you in any way for the upcoming summer if you're replacing your ACs. It's a big project, and I wish you luck on it. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Have a good one.